this come from? Did that fall out of there? How'd that get out of there? That's a fine how do you do. How to fix this son of a bitch in the middle of our video production. Just stick it up in there. You've never even seen what's up there. Look at that. I got a giant goddamn gold ball up there. Weird fibrous gold ball right over my head. You've never seen that. Hey, howdy, it's me, Manic Mark, coming to you from the bunker system, located underneath Yard Villa, found somewhere in the jungles of the Midwest. And damn, coming to you with a bourbon and Coke. It's not a Coke, it's a Pepsi, because I don't want to drink Pepsi. No, I don't even drink Pepsi. I haven't had like but one Pepsi in 2 years. I decided it's the end of the year. Jesus. What will happen in this video? Anything could happen, because it's just like my third one. The end of the year, nice day outside. I went and worked out. I'm like, just got to relax a little bit. All the pressure on my shoulders, the weight of the world's on my shoulders. Why do you say that? Well, because I was driving the Jeep the other day, and the clutch went out. Oh no, the '88 Jeep, the one I've owned since it was new, the clutch went out. So the mechanic says, man, it might just be hydraulic. I'm like, what does that mean? So it's probably like a leak in a line. But today, after been sitting in the shop for 3 days, we got to take the transmission out and take the bell housing off. Oh no. My wife goes, oh, you got to get rid of that thing. I said, what do you mean? Get rid of it. I've had it since 1988. It would be anti-something to get rid of it. So anyway, fixing that sucker. I like it. Get another one. What do you mean just go out and get another one? It doesn't happen that way. When the tow truck driver picked me up, he's like, hey, this is a pretty awesome Jeep. He had tattoos all over his arm and the word death tattooed on his hand. I figured if he likes my Jeep, then I ought to keep it. It's a pretty awesome Jeep. A guy like that likes it. He had the palest blue eyes. I didn't want to say anything. I looked at him like, what? I almost said, damn, dude, you have the palest blue eyes. But I thought, I'd be careful about that kind of sort of thing. You know, usually men are not like, hey, you got nice eyes. Generally speaking, okay, so what else happened? Well, I found a new record. No, I didn't. Find a new record store. I found a new record store 2 months ago, and the first time I drove by, there was a sign out front that said, open in late August, buying records, vinyl coming. What does that mean? The store is like selling something else, and it's been open, and they're gonna like start selling records, or it's gonna be a record store, and they're getting ready to open it up, and then it didn't open. It didn't open. I drive by every week. It wouldn't open. Oh, this is killing me. The suspense. So the other day I drove by. Was making my rounds. I stopped at half price, full price, super high price books and bought a few records. Because I didn't think I was going to be able to offer a record video this weekend, and I didn't, because now it's Tuesday. So it's Tuesday's record video with a big stack of records. So anyway, because the new record store is hardly ever open, and it's like, oh, okay, so I'm going to open a record store, and I got to check every record on eBay. It's going to be super high priced, at least as high priced as super high price, full price, half price books. Never mind. Hold on a second. I feel like I just slid back. I slid back, but I'm not going to slide all the way back. It's not one of those things I'm sliding all the way back. Three-day workout today. Let's see, yesterday it was an hour at 14 resistance on the bicycle. Day before that around 7 miles. To qualify that. 7 miles for me, there's this woman pushing a baby. She ran past me. I'm on your left. I'm like, okay. She's like, going up the hills, and then she was gone, and I kind of caught up to her. You know, she's going up a little hill. She's walking. Like, I'm going to catch up to you. And then she just left. So you didn't even I hardly did more than one lap. I said, well, yeah, you got dressed up in your yoga pants, you came out here and you hardly did a lap. And then you went past me on my left. I had to do 7 laps on that damn course. Each lap is like 1 1/10 a mile. Oh, it's just up and down. I always run it so the uphill's right at the end. Like, oh, I just can't take it. And then just before I get to my car, it evens out a little bit. Like, oh, maybe one more. So today it was yoga, and the yoga instructor came up with an entirely new. See, I'm just like talking now. I'm not even worried about it. Entirely new routine. She's just amazing. She's really good in that it's always different, and she's always experimenting. And it was an entirely new routine. Most of it was spent on the mat doing this flow of stretching poses. And it was really good. I was very, very happy to be able to do that. And then I did, oh my God. So yesterday I did a full set of weights, and I felt really good about it, but today I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible. So I did half a set, then I went up, I wanted to go in the pool. I got this whole routine in the pool, but I'll do the noodle machine. The noodle machine, which is the elliptical, which after about a half an hour, if you step off, your knees just kind of collapse. The machine turns your legs into noodles, and I did the whole hour, and I felt pretty good. Amazingly enough, I didn't have to really kind of the last 10 minutes were really hard, but I got through it. And then I stepped off the machine. There were not too many people around at the time. I stepped off the machine, and my legs were like, eat. I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna get a cramp and fall down. Both legs. Like, ooh, tottered over to the alcohol and the wipes. Everybody's wiping them. That's the other thing. When I first started lifting weights, my wife was doing it. She got me into it. The machines, and she'd wipe everything off. I'm like, okay, well, that's what people do, wipe everything off. A rag with the alcohol spray, wipe it all off. Seems sensible. But then as I started working out more and more, I'm like, there's handles and knobs, and half the people do and half the people don't. And frankly, unless you're leaving dripping sweat on the machine, everybody shares the germs. You just got to share the germs. And when I'm lifting the free weights, that's the worst thing, the free weights. And because the guy that goes through the gym that wipes off the machines never wipes off any of the free weights. So, you're doing all, and then you're like, your hands are sweaty and wipe them onto your towel, and it's like, oh. You get this brown spot in the middle of the towel, so if you're sitting on your towel when you're sitting on the machine, which this is what I do, you got to put your towel somewhere, so I put it on the chair, and I sit on it. Sometimes I get up, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. What the hell's wrong with that? That brown spot, where'd that come from? That's pretty embarrassing. That's too much information, but it's not usually, it's from the hands because there's so much grime on the weights. So I think I either get my colds, when I get colds, I get them from the gym. Or somewhere, anyway, okay, should we go on to the records? Oh, I haven't even told the story about the new record store. So I stopped in and said, so we're open. Like, oh my God, you're open. So I stopped in. This is what I love about it. Every record store has a different personality. So you don't know what to expect. Most of them are like, they're guys that are tired and there's shit stacked up all over the place. And if they're selling stuff on eBay, there's nothing in the bins because all the stuff just crap in the bins what they can't sell on eBay. They sell stuff on eBay. Yeah, it's pretty rare. Mostly their stuff. And there's one guy that's been selling records in stores all over town for years, and that's where I got that last big hit. So but generally speaking, kind of high priced. But I walk in there and I find stuff. And then there was another new store that opened up, and it was like, oh, the guy was checking everything on eBay, and everything was high priced, and you could tell he was just like, and that's probably a sign of a good businessman, because the other store that's been open forever, I never go into, because they're always selling stuff on eBay. Nothing's in the bins. If anything's in the bins, it's always high price. Okay. So I go in this store with not high expectations, and it's immaculately clean. I'm like, wow, you just walk in and you feel like you're in I don't know. It's like it was more well organized than a Walmart, for God's sakes. I walk in, there's a lot of space, and then there's where you look for the records. I mean, usually there's no space, everything's stacked up to the ceiling, everything's all over the place. And the bins were all like professionally built. I don't know if they bought them or they built them or whatever, but they're like laminated with white laminate, and there's up you flip through up there, and there's some stuff underneath. It was really, I mean, and the guy, I kind of figured out. There was a guy, an older guy, probably 50, late 50s, and I think the woman that was behind the counter was an employee, not sure, seemed like it, okay, and they were selling like 2 amplifiers, or 2, like maybe for like, somebody's manufacturing tube amplifiers. They're kind of crude looking. I thought they were reproduction, like vintage, like old, like just for old. Apparently they were, but I thought they were kind of crudely built. Anyway, you know, there'd be pieces of plastic in the things that you could see, the condensers, like, oh, what the hell is that? A condenser, you know, a tube, oh my God. That's so strange, so weird, so awesome, I gotta have one. I assumed it was for amplifiers for running your turntable through it. I don't know, sure. Anyway, but there was stuff in there like that, and so I went through, oh, there's an easy listening section. I went through that, went through the jazz section, and the new arrival section didn't amount to anything. Everything was in a sleeve, a plastic sleeve, even the stuff that's not hardly worth $1, which there was a lot of, which I just had to wonder about that. How could anybody be in their 50s or late 50s or late 40s or 50s and not understand that some stuff has practically no value to you as a vendor? I don't know. But I found a few things, and then I noticed the room. There was another room in the back that said oddities. I said, oh, you know, it's kind of like a magnet. I was kind of drawn into the oddities room. And I found a couple of local religious albums, you know, locally produced religious albums, and I found a bunch of contemporary, American contemporary albums include, and when I walked out, then in the classical music section, more of them. And you hardly find those around here, and they were priced, you know, not outrageous, and compared to eBay, and it wasn't paying for shipping. So I maybe could have bought more of them, but I just had to like restrict myself at a certain point. Like, whoa, wait a minute, credit card, you know, it's going to burn up when I put it in the machine. So I got a nice stack of records. Boy, that went on for a long time, didn't it? But I don't care. Why? Because Pepsi and bourbon. Nothing matters. I put this on top of the stack. But this came from the new record store. So my point is, oh, and they had brand new carpet, completely vacuum, clean as hell. Some record stores are like, yeah, well, do I want to kneel down and look through this? I don't want to put my knee on the floor. And we had musical notes on it, you know, so I don't know if they rented this place or they bought it. The air conditioning's turned way up. Usually it's like, oh my God. If I just keep the air conditioning about 80, about the same temperature as outside, I won't be spending that money to air condition the place. Nobody has any money. Anyway, but the air conditioning was turned way up. The carpeting had musical notes on it. It was pretty impressive. Oh, then so the checkout lady says, yeah, well, I was a little bit worried. Not too many people look through the easy listening category. Just one other guy before you. I'm like, oh. So I said, whoa, there was a guy ahead of me. I don't really like that. But only 2 people had been through it, you know, and he was worried about it. And I'm like, yeah, and all I've got is like moon music and stuff, you know, like weird. So she goes, so then she says, well, I'm hoping to start up a bluegrass thing. Why would she segue to bluegrass when there's nothing in my stack that says it at all that I'm interested in bluegrass? Like, I'm like, okay, so you got to work in a bluegrass section. That's great. I'm happy that you had the other things though, including this Buddy Tate and his tenor sax album with the cat under a hat, not in a hat, but under a hat, the cat under a hat. Terrific cover on Halo. Budget. I stalled for a moment, my blathering. I stalled my blathering. Budget record album with a great cover. That's what I wanted to say. Oh my God. Stop for a moment. Take a breath. Okay. It's been a long time since you've seen a video like this. Anyway. Now, from... like it's a great revelation. It was from Northern Kentucky University. Cast off from the Northern Kentucky University. It's the Chow Wing Chung album featuring Pian Yoko Cursive and The Willows Are Here, a group for contemporary music at Columbia University. Harvey Solberger, conductor. That looks good. I don't know what I'm going to feature. There's so many records here. Bossa Nova goes to Nashville. Now the thing is, people are going to go into this place and they're going to pick it. And these people are going to be left with all these not $2 albums, hardly worth $1 album. Some of them are a little bit rough looking albums in sleeves in these bins. I wish them good luck, but I'm a little bit, you know. Anyway, Bossa Nova goes to Nashville. Harold Bradley and his guitar and orchestra. That could be fun. So apparently they turned the Devil Woman, the tune The Devil Woman, Ruby Ann, You're My Sunshine, You're Cheating Hard into a Bossa Nova numbers. Alright? That might be fun. The music of nature and the gods. I almost never feature anything from contemporary music because it's always, it sounds interesting, and it is interesting, but it very rarely is like kind of like that energy you need at the end of the video. You know, it's like extended kind of. Not anyway. Okay. Another American contemporary, George Rochberg, string quartet #1, duo concertini at 10. I got trapped in another one of those things, didn't I? Oh my God. Anyway, there you go. Another American contemporary. Another American contemporary I don't have. It is Flute Music by Ingrid Dingsfelder. Hi Mom, I brought home the woman I got to marry. What's her name? It's Ingrid Dingsfelder. Your mother just, face, she goes blank. What's wrong with that name? Nothing. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a great name. You just surprise your parents sometimes, I guess. The Looper Trio presents The Holy Hills of Home. Looper Trio probably got this one. I hardly ever find local gospel albums anymore. Before I used to find them all the time, but man. Probably due to my blog. Did I ever tell you about that? Being in a record store one time, some guy selling records in this record store where the original owner died, and I missed a mic. And I had a couple local albums. He goes, "Oh, my buddy so-and-so, he collects those now." And I went, "Oh." Because we saw a bunch of them on this album, this blog, you know, a good, bad, and I went, "Oh, well, that's my blog." He went, "Oh." So I know that my blog is like, I bumped the market up or something, I don't know. Anyway, also in the Looper Trio, it's Life Beyond Death, and I think I probably got this one too, but I couldn't pass it up just because Life Beyond Death is an awesome title. Also, Right Records, Looper Trio. But I think they made more than just 2 albums, so I don't know, so I picked it up. This is a pretty cool title, Deep Purple. Deep Purple by the Harry Farmer Rhythm Assembly, including Harry Farmer on Hammond organ, Harry Engelman on piano, David Goldberg on guitar, Norman Parker on marimba, and Pete Torman on drums. So that could be good. Looking forward to listening to that. It's a Crumb, Night Music. I don't have. I know I don't have this one. Joanna, I'm not sure. Mezzo-sopranos. You know when you see mezzo-sopranos on like an avant-garde, it's like, oh, that's going to be great because it's just going to be some woman going, ah! You'll love it. Meyer Kupferman, Concerto for Cello, Tape, and Orchestra, 1942. Concerto for Violin with Percussion Orchestra, Lou Harrison. That could be good. Looking forward to listening to that. Also, looking forward to listening to this bizarre little gem, Ian Hamilton, Epitaph for This World and Time, 1970, and Voyage for French Horn and Chamber Orchestra, 1970. Also, both in 1970. That could be a lot of fun. Budget, the Cha-Cha album. I'm sure I've got this set. I must have. On Palace, like way down on the heap of budget. labels, Palace. This is more like a can photo than a cha-cha photo, which is kind of like the fun of buying this album. Cha-cha festival. Yeah, it's not more like Parisian can outfit, not cha-cha. Nonetheless, it's the photograph they had to work with. Pres Prado, usually anyway. I'm sure I got that. Now I have no idea what's on this. It was a couple bucks. The Electric Junkyard. Who knows? On Victor, RCA Victor, was there a date? Did they give up putting dates on the records at this point? 1969. Don't know. Beautiful cover. Cuban Rhapsody de Cuban Volume 2, Orchestra de Camara de Madrid, conducted by Felix. Don't just give up. You can't lose steam right now. Still got a lot of records to go through before you can go take a nap. Balicon Cortijo and Sucambo. There's Bombas and other stuff on that. I bought it for the cover more or less. Also bought for the cover. It's there's Tony Motola from this album. Tony Motola, RCA Candom. All Stars featuring Lou Stein, Johnny something or other, Bob Haggart, Charles something. Boy, there's a lot of people on that record. I think I've got this one, but I don't know I have this one in this good a condition. This cover was in really good condition, so I couldn't pass it up. It wasn't that expensive. So some of the records that you would think that it would put higher prices on were not high priced. And others were, like the 10 inches, the 10-inch records that they had a few of were high priced. A box set, new piano music for the piano, new music for the piano, Robert Helps, pianist. Let's see, looks like 2 records. I haven't even opened it. Northern Kentucky University, that's where it came from. Anyway, box set. And now on to half price, full price, super high price books. Some interesting things stuck in the dollar bin, which kind of surprised me that they wouldn't put them in a pop, like the pop bin that all the people, generally, most of the people look through. I have no idea. Judy Roberts, Brazil, Nights in Brazil, Fusion, Jazz, maybe. I have no clue. Anyway, a title I don't see in the dollar bin. Picked it up. Also, don't see Todd Rundgren records in the dollar bin. Picked it up. Also, don't see Santana Amigos records in the dollar bin. Picked it up. Maggie Joseph, Hear the Words, Feel the Feeling, don't have any idea. Picked it up, $1. Think I already have this one, but just in case, this was a better copy. Santana Braxis in the dollar bin, picked it up. All the vinyl looks pretty good, by the way. Okay, Dan and Darlene Walters, Upon God's Bosom. Pretty sure I don't have this one. Pretty sure I don't have this one. Queen City Recording out of Cincinnati. Santana, double record set. Moonflower, dollar bin. A talk show, some kind of like female 80s dance sort of, why not? It was $1. Alright, $1. There's pretty colors on the cover. I had to pick it up. Eye to Eye. Again, I have no clue. 4 songs on each side. Produced by Gary Katz. No clue. A Blondie record with a dog chewed corner. Dog chewed corner, but for $1. The vinyl looks pretty clean. Picked it up. Dionne Warwick, I'll Never Fall in Love Again. Fun song. Picked it up. This is the greatest this is like a hits album or something. I have no idea. Picked it up. Eric Clapton, 2-record Eric Clapton set, also in the dollar bin. Okay, rough looking cover, but clean looking vinyl. And why would they put this in the dollar bin? I have no idea. The English Beat, an album, but English Beat, seems like something they'd throw in the high price bin. I don't know, for $1. Picked it up. That'll be fun. I know what to expect from that. I have no idea what the hell Yaz is. What the hell? Is there a date on it? I have no idea. Picked it up. Dick Kirshner used to play, or did play with Lawrence Welk. Made a few records on his own. Probably got this one, not sure. When he went out on his own, he made at least 2 or 3 Exotica-esque kind of sounding albums that were really quite good. And I just don't remember. Anyway, George McRae, it's Diamond Touch. Again, I have no idea, 1976, just picked it up. Probably should have left this in the bin, but it was such a clean copy, I didn't want to see it destroyed. Jackie Gleason, great cover. Dimensional stereo, the mono conversion that Capitol used to put together. I don't know how they did it, but not actually true stereo, I don't think. Persuasive Percussion, I'm sure I get 2 or 3 copies of this, 1960, but I thought, I better pick this up. This is pretty clean. I will save it. I will save it for posterity. Picked it up. Todd Rundgren, Oops, Wrong Planet, Utopia, Oops, Wrong Planet. I don't mind Todd Rundgren, you know what I'm saying? Another one, somebody brought in their entire Todd Rundgren collection, which they put in the dollar bin, so I picked this one up too. Almost to the bottom of the stack, thank God. It's been a long video. Out of Canton, Ohio, Mount Vernon Boulevard in Canton, Ohio, which is why I picked it up. Canton, Ohio? Somebody was able to produce a record in Canton, Ohio? Apparently so. That's why I picked it up. On the Hammond electric Wurlitzer and the electric piano, apparently, it is, who in the hell was it? Emil, of course, he's got one name. Why do you have more than one name? There's some interesting song titles like Laura. The other day I was driving somewhere with my wife and I said, Laura. I was like telling her all my favorite tunes that have been covered all the time, like Laura and Flamingo, and what was some of the other ones, Ebb Tide, and she just looked at me like, what's wrong with you? So anyway, Stardust and Jean-Louise and Laura and some good tunes are on here, so you never know. Now, last but not least, because I put it on the bottom of the stack, I have no idea. I've never seen it before. I knew he made a Latin album with the fun cover. Because I've seen the cover, but the record was missing, so I didn't buy it. Is Liberace's brother, George, leader solo violin, along with Emilio Briano, Walter Rosilla, James Brolin, Russ Taylor, Carl Carlelli, Carl Mouse, Frank Stabile, there's a bunch of people. Nobody, Frank Stabile, never mind. Anyway, he arranged everything. Just show the cover, okay. It's George Liberace in a Hawaiian album. He made it in a Hawaiian album and a Latin album. This is white, and not only that. Oh my God! Don't forget to point out it's pressed on this lovely red vinyl, red translucent vinyl. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. So, what to share as a sample? It's almost impossible to. That one probably you were like, oh, George, he had a brother. He made records, yeah, at least 2 apparently. That would be the one. Like, oh, please play that one. But you might play American contemporary, but probably not. I have no idea. How about Devil Woman, like within a bossa nova beat? That could be interesting too. Anyway, that's the end of this babble session. I'm glad you hung out to this side of the timeline. whatever it is. You think this is bad? Wait, I got to go upstairs and process this thing after drinking 3 of these things. Boy, that's going to be a challenge.
Thank you.